Welcome. I'm so glad you're here for this explainer. Today, we're diving into something incredibly personal and honestly totally transformative. We're talking about reflection, your leadership growth, and building real resilience. So, I want to invite you to just settle in for a moment. Take a deep breath, be present. We're not just going to rattle off facts today, we're looking directly at your personal journey. Whether you're an aspiring leader, a young professional trying to find your footing, or stepping into a whole new level of responsibility, this time is completely dedicated to you. So let's jump right in. Okay, look at this quote. Some of the most talented people in the world remain stuck, not because they lack potential, but because they never pause long enough to recognize how much they've already grown. Let that sink in for a moment. Seriously, don't just rush past this. So often we're moving at a million miles an hour, right? Chasing the next big milestone, putting out fires, that we become completely blind to the profound transformation happening right inside us. Number one, the hidden leadership trap, missing your own growth. There's this unspoken struggle out there. I see it all the time. So many incredibly talented professionals, especially folks from underrepresented backgrounds, you constantly push yourselves. You battle self-doubt, you work twice as hard, and yet you still feel kind of stuck. Why is that? Well, look at this point carefully. Busy people are not always growing people. Actually, scratch that. Let me be clearer. True leadership growth only begins when you stop rushing past your lessons. You can literally be busy every single hour of the day and still remain totally stagnant if you aren't paying attention to what those hours are actually teaching you. Number two, reflection is a superpower. It's how we create wisdom. Because here's the thing. Reflection isn't just some nice-to-have, fluffy exercise. It is a literal leadership superpower. Think about the difference between raw experience and reflected wisdom. Some people say they have 10 years of experience, but in reality, they've just repeated the exact same year 10 times over. Real growth happens when you intentionally learn from those messy, unexpected events, from the intense pressure, from failure. Because experience alone doesn't create wisdom. Reflected experience does. So I want you to genuinely reflect on this question right now. What leadership experiences have you gone through that you've never truly acknowledged? Honestly, you may want to pause this explainer right here and just think about that for a moment. Take the time to honor those unacknowledged moments because they are the very foundation of your capability. Number three, build your story toolbox to capture your journey. And this brings us to a really foundational concept from Amaning CareerLift, building your story toolbox. It's basically a personal repository, a place where every single challenge, setback, big presentation, and win is intentionally documented. So many brilliant people miss out on promotions, not because they aren't capable, no way, but simply because they can't confidently communicate their value. They downplay their growth, or they obsess over what went wrong. Building your story toolbox completely changes that narrative. So what actually goes into this toolbox? Well, imagine walking out of a really difficult stakeholder meeting. You're frustrated, maybe your confidence just took a massive hit. If you document that exact moment, how you handled the conflict, the imposter syndrome you had to push through, or how you managed to lead without any formal authority, it stops being just a frustrating memory. It becomes a tangible asset for influence. Every time you navigate a complex project or bounce back from burnout, a new tool goes straight into your box. Think about a moment in your own journey where things got incredibly tough. What challenge once broke your confidence, but actually helps shape who you are today? Again, you might want to pause this explainer and write this down. That setback you just thought of, that is pure leadership wisdom sitting in your toolbox right now. A fantastic way to uncover these moments is through what we call the rich picture exercise. This is where you visually map out your leadership journey. You chart the setbacks, the key milestones, your core values, and the people who've really shaped you along the way. Your career isn't just a boring CV made up of bullet points, it's a deeply meaningful story. And the very best leaders learn exactly how to make meaning out of their journey. Number four, navigating leadership complexity, moving beyond technical solutions. As you start building your story, you'll quickly realize that modern leadership requires moving way past simple problem solving. We have to draw a line between technical challenges, the straightforward problems with known fixes, and adaptive challenges. Adaptive challenges are where true leadership actually happens. We're talking about navigating deep uncertainty, pushing through resistance, managing competing priorities, and dealing with complex mindsets. It's all about learning how to navigate total ambiguity without losing yourself in the process. And that ambiguity, it has layers. You've got structural complexity, which is dealing with the actual rigid systems of your organization. Then there's sociopolitical complexity, the fun stuff, right? Navigating human relationships and messy office dynamics. And finally, emergent complexity, those unexpected crises that just pop up out of nowhere. Managing these layers and truly learning from the unexpected curveballs is what forges real resilience when you're under immense pressure. Number 5, sustainable leadership and well-being. This is the foundation. Because navigating all of that complexity takes a massive, massive toll. And here's a critical truth we absolutely have to face. You cannot sustainably pour into others if you are emotionally empty yourself. I really want to speak directly to those of you feeling chronic stress right now. You have to put on your own oxygen mask first. If you're burned out, your leadership suffers, your team suffers, and most importantly, you suffer. We have to build on the pillars of sustainability: sleep and recovery, diet and exercise, stress management, and mindfulness. Protecting your mental clarity and your physical health. Listen, that is not a distraction from your leadership journey. It is the absolute, non-negotiable foundation of it. You simply cannot be an adaptive, resilient leader if your battery is constantly flashing at 1%. So I want to ask you a very honest question. When was the last time you truly reflected on your own well-being? Take a few seconds. Let that sink in. Please, make your health a priority. It's literally the most important leadership decision you will ever make. Number 6, the journey forward: intention and community. So, how do we take all this awareness and turn it into lasting growth? To keep the learning alive, I highly recommend using daily or weekly reflection prompts. Ask yourself, what stretched me this week? How did I respond when I was under pressure? What assumptions did I challenge? What story can I add to my toolbox today? Whether you use a journal, a reflective log on your laptop, or simply record voice notes on your commute home, actively documenting these moments ensures your growth is never lost. And equally important, keep the network going. Build leadership communities. Seek out accountability partners. Get involved in learning teams. Mentor someone who's just a few steps behind you, and seek out mentors who can guide you. You know, the best leaders don't do this alone. They're deeply connected to their peers, leaning on each other through the inevitable setbacks and, of course, celebrating the wins together. As we come to a close, I want to leave you with this thought. Your future leadership story is already being written. The question is whether you are paying attention to it. Every challenge you survive, every difficult conversation you navigate, every setback you overcome, it all becomes part of the incredible leader you are becoming. I warmly invite you to continue this journey with us in the Amaning CareerLift community. Protect your well-being, support one another, consistently document your growth, and intentionally build that story toolbox. Connect with us on YouTube, TikTok, or our website. We are right here to help you turn those aspirations into lasting achievements. Your leadership journey does not end here. This is only the beginning.
Aspire Leadership Program is designed to help aspiring leaders build confidence, discover purpose, grow in influence, and create meaningful impact in their communities and careers. Leadership is not about position, it's about purpose, growth, courage, and impact. You have potential inside you. Your voice matters. Great leaders are built, not born. Confidence grows through action. Your journey matters. Step into your purpose, lead with courage, inspire change, empower others as you rise. Growth begins when you believe in yourself. Your story can change lives. Leadership starts with one decision: rise above fear and self-doubt. The world needs your leadership. Keep growing. Keep learning, keep leading. You have the potential, we have the pathway. Let's rise together. Visit amaningcareerlift.org for more information on the Community Progression Hub.